In this lecture, we're going to enable code folding ribbons, and we're going to investigate handy Xcode shortcuts. Now, I already have code folding ribbons enabled, right? I can click over here and fold the code. This will be very, very useful. So I'm going to go to Xcode, open settings, and go down to editing. We have display. And right here you see the second option is code folding ribbon. So I would recommend enabling that. Also, you have line numbers. You can toggle or not toggle. I like to have line numbers available. Okay, and you can change any of these if you want to. Okay, but having code folding ribbon is not always the default, so make sure it's enabled. Okay, excellent. And now we can fold our code, right? We see the colors I can fold, linear gradient, the Z stack. Okay, so we'll be using this throughout the course. This is actually very useful. Additionally, for the navigator, we can use the numbers command 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So command 1, command 2, command 3, command 4. We can also hide the navigator by pressing this button right up here. On the right, at the upper left-hand corner, we can hide or show the inspector. Okay, so we have the inspector. We'll be using that quite a lot when we'll be in the assets folder. If we want to run our project, we can press the play button over here. And we can stop it by pressing the stop button. However, as a hotkey, we can press Command R to run and Command period to stop. Now we can go to product over here and scroll down to build. Build means we don't want to run the app, but we want to build it. We want to compile it. So build succeeded. I could also do Command B. Now, once in a while, you might have issues with Xcode, even though your code is fine. So what you can do is choose Clean Build Folder, okay? Or, as you can see, Command-Shift-K. So Command-Shift-K, Clean Build, yes. So this sometimes magically resolves issues, okay? It's kind of like a last resort. If you're pretty confident you have no bugs, but something is not working. For example, in the past, we could add an app icon to the project, but it wouldn't appear. And then a clean build might help the app icon appear in your project. Now let's run the app again with Command R and go to the simulator. And our first app, amazing. Now there is a console down here. Not much is appearing because our code doesn't really display anything. But to toggle this, we could say Command-Shift-Y, 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 or press this little button all the way to the right over here. Okay, we can select text right in our code and press Command/ to comment the text out, Command/. Now notice nothing's happening in the preview. So I can press, we see canvas paused, press this button, or we could press Command Option P. But sometimes we need some room. So maybe I don't want to see the preview. So I can press Command Option Enter. Command Option Enter, Command Option Enter, Command Option Enter. Now another way to do this is up here you have these three little lines and you see canvas. So you can click on canvas or click on canvas again. Okay, I can go over to the navigator, click on Hello Xcode app. See this content view? I can press Command and click, and it will jump to the content view. Okay? See this linear gradient? Command and click. And I didn't create the linear gradient. Command click. So we see two options. I'll choose the first. And it takes you into the implementation. Now, a lot of the details are hidden, so we don't exactly, it's hard to learn very much from this. Okay, linear gradient, and these inits mean there are different versions of the function, okay? Of this view, it's a view. Okay, I'll go back. We have this little arrow over here. It's hard to see. Send us back. Another really useful hotkey is Control 6. Control 6, not Command. And you'll see a little layout of the project. Now here our project is quite simple. Okay, it's quite simple, but it can get more complex. Okay, and for example, this background color, instead of saying background color, I could say mark colon background color. And for the VStack, say mark, I don't know, text, right? Main text. And maybe for the image, I don't want to overuse it, but we could say mark image, okay? And that will help us navigate, because if I press Control 6 now, we see these options here, and I can tap on one of them, say I want to go to the background color. It just helps us navigate, so this can be quite useful. Now, instead of mark, I could say to do, okay? Now, it doesn't make sense to do image here, because it's pretty much done. And then to do appears a little bit differently. Okay, so I could say, for example, to do colon add some interesting button. And if I press Control 6, not Command, Control 6, now I see add some interesting button. Or Control 6. So this is quite a useful hotkey. And we'll see more hotkeys throughout. Okay, we'll see more hotkeys throughout. So let's undo this. Undo, how will we do that? We'll do it with Command Z. Okay, and let's go back to our app, okay? And I'd like to show you how to toggle light or dark mode. So Command-Shift-A, 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 Command-Shift-A. We'll be spending quite a lot of time in the course on adapting to light or dark mode, excuse me. Command-Shift-A, wonderful. Okay, let's see what else can be done. So let's go to our code, and our code is just so beautiful, right? Amazing. And let's make it less beautiful. So I can select this code. I can press Tab. Okay, that's kind of weird. Or Shift Tab. And let's make a complete mess of things. And I pressed Control I, Control I. That fixes indentation. I can undo that. I could select everything with Command A. So it's selecting all. And now Control I fixes the indentation. Okay, so that's really great. Okay, now I'd like to show you something really cool about autocomplete. So let's go to the text of first app. Okay, and I'm going to type frame. And we see two options. I could select the second. Okay, not much happened. Now, suppose I do frame, and I want the max width and max height, okay? So I will type MAXW, like max width, and I'll type MAXH. Press enter, and we get the desired parameters. And this is fine, right? I could say, for example, infinity, okay? And infinity. Usually I'll only do one of these. And change our code up a little bit. I'm going to undo that. Now let's redo this again. Again, let's do frame. And maybe this time I want width and height and alignment. Oops, I had a typo. Alignment. I want the first option. I could go to the second or the first. I want the first. And oh my goodness, the line of code is so long. I wish I could place this on multiple lines. Sometimes I need to put my cursor here, and I'll press Control M. Control, not Command. Control M, multi-line, okay? And then I could say the width. Now, actually, I rarely do this. I rarely put exact values. This is usually not considered good practice. But alignment many times can be very useful. Right? I could say alignment trailing. Okay, and it really messed up our view. Like usually hard coding values is not a good practice. Okay, it's really not. For example, down here that I use 200. Okay, our image looks nice. But this is risky code, and we'll see better ways to take a percentage of the width and height. Usually you really want to avoid hard coding values like this. Now we can go back up here. So command 1, this is the navigator. Command 2, git repositories. We don't really have anything. Command 3 are the bookmarks. Personally, I don't use them much. Searching, this is super important. This is searching the entire project. Okay, the entire project. You can get the same effect with Command Shift F. Warnings, we don't really have any warnings, so that's Command 5 or tapping. I usually just tap. Okay, no tests. Usage of memory. This usually appears when we just run the app, or maybe not necessarily appear. So we can click here or click here. Okay, it's still taking some time. Yeah, and now you can see, oh, what happened? We have a breakpoint. Okay, we have a breakpoint and it stopped the execution. Down here you have little buttons. I can press this play with an arrow and it will jump to the next breakpoint, or just continue if we have no breakpoints. So it went to here. Now I could just get rid of these one by one, or I could press this little blue breakpoint thing to toggle the breakpoint, or I could go up to this point right here. I think it's Command 9. Honestly, no, Command 8. Honestly, I have a hard time remembering the numbers. Command 8, we see the breakpoints, and I could, click on this, edit, enable, disable, delete breakpoint. Okay, I could delete breakpoint. So I'm deleting. Sometimes it's worthwhile just to disable, delete breakpoint, etc. Finally, Command 9 for the history. Now we can also search within a file using Command F. I usually don't use this so much because that means I just don't understand how to navigate. So this navigates within the file. Command F, let's say I'll write ignore. Not the best way to navigate. I think using the mark is much better. So that's a quick overview of some very useful hotkeys. Of course, we'll learn more along the way. So have a wonderful day and enjoy the course.